What's going on, everybody? We are just 2 short days away from seeing the next massive piece of content come to the contest, the Necropolis. The Necropolis features some damn fine juicy rewards to it. For the initial clear, you're going to get the first ever playable version of Maestro, a 6-star version of the champion, as long as we're not counting the Overseer as the first playable version. A Mastery Point, which is the first since Act 4 was released, the first new Mastery Point, and a 7-star rank 2 to 3 gem, which, by the way, if you're gunning for that new progression title, Valiant, that's half of the requirements. You need 2 7-star champions at rank 3. And then, if you're brave enough to fully explore the whole dang thing, you get the second gem needed so that you can get the Valiant title, which will be important if you want to get all the goodies from Cyber Weekend and from the holiday bonus, and then potentially the Deathless Champions early next year. We'll kind of see how that plays out, but it's going to be important to get through this thing quick if you want to stay on that bleeding edge of progression, along with getting a 7-star version of Maestro as well. So, some really good stuff up for grabs, but the question is, how much is it going to cost? And that is a question that is impossible to answer currently, and it's also something that's going to vary from player to player. But what I've done is I went back to take a closer look at my Abyss runs, and who knows? Necropolis could be vastly different than the Abyss. The resource requirements could be significantly different, but this is the best estimate that we have to go by for right now, at least. And I took a look at all 5 of my Abyss runs. This is the first run, and if you look in the bottom left corner here, you can see a revive count of 99. The second run I did took 106. The third run was a pretty good drop off there of 72. The fourth run was 56. And then the fifth run was 81. Why was there such a big drop off? Well, if you remember so in the first run I did that took 99 revives, my team was not really anything too special. You notice that I'm missing all of the 4 horsemen here, it seems. This was a Sabretooth run where Sabretooth had just gotten a new synergy with Sasquatch to enable him to do some big damage. Turns out you couldn't actually use Sabretooth for that many fights in there, so it was pretty rough going. The second run that I did, I've got Torch on the team, so that's cool. I've got Fury. Yeah, he wasn't there either. So the team is coming together, but still no Aegon. So yeah, it's no wonder that this was also a pretty costly run. It also varies just because certain paths are always going to be more difficult than others. The bottom line is there's a lot of factors that go into this, and if you have a very strong roster ready to counter everything that the Necropolis throws your way, of course that's going to reduce the overall cost. And if you don't, you're going to have to muscle through with whatever resources you can get your hands on. So in total, of these 5 Abyss runs, I added it up and it was 414 total revives. By the way, one other thing to note here, when I use team revives, I count them as 3 typically, even if I'm getting only 2 champions would benefit or 4 champions would benefit. I feel like it just averages out to about 3, and it kind of fits because that's what's in the icon for the item anyway. So this is like a very close estimate to what was used. So 414 total revives to get through all 5 paths of the Abyss, which comes out to on average 83 revives per path. And the Necropolis actually has 6 paths. So if I were to take 83 times 6, that'd be 498 total revives. But again, some of these paths were a little bit more delayed when I actually had the appropriate champions to get through the content. If you're looking to hop in there right away and just smash through the content immediately, well, we can say maybe the average is about 100 revives in that case. And if we go back in game, if you're ready to go, if you're looking to head into the Necropolis on day 1, then your inventory should already be looking pretty healthy. You should have capped out on level 1 and level 2 revives, maybe some unclaimed resources in addition to the normal stuff that would be calculated in the overflow over here. Might have some of that stuff ready to go. Hopefully you've got some boosts and things like that, some potions, maybe be doing a little bit of potion farming. Let me see, actually, what am I up to potion wise, because I have been potion farming a bit. I'm not looking to hop in there day one, but I will be in there a few days after. And where am I currently up to? What number is that? Plus 366. Of course, healing up to full, or not even to full, but just healing up a bit more off of each revive. That's going to make each revive just stretch that much further. So that's also a key factor. So the point is, though, if you've been prepping for Necropolis ahead of time, then the first path is likely either going to be, already accounted for with your current resources, or you may just have to use a little bit of units to get through. Hopefully also have some free 4-hour crystals that can supplement the run, but of course these are limited as well. So I don't expect too many people to have thousands and thousands of free 4-hour crystals of varying types, but I do have quite a few myself. Anyway, the point is, when factoring in all of this stuff, I figure the first path will essentially be free, okay, if you're ready to go immediately. However, after all those resources are burned, the next 5 paths are going to start to cost. All right, so if we're thinking about 100 revives on average for those next 5 paths, that would be 500 revives. Every 100 revives is 4,000 units, so 500 of them would be 20,000 units. I feel like that's a fairly reasonable estimate. One other thing that I forgot to mention too is skill is absolutely a factor, and that's also probably has something to do with why each path took less and less revives. In addition to having stronger champions, you just have a better understanding of how to fight, like the final boss in there, which always took the most resources, things like that. So skill will absolutely be a factor. The faster you can adapt to the content, the better off you'll be as well. Another way to bring down the resource cost of that, like 20,000 unit estimate, would be to take advantage of deals like this. This is the completion offer after doing the monthly event quest, and for 1,000 units, I'm gonna skip the potions for right now. But for 1,000 units, you're going to get 5 of the level 3 revives, 5 of the level 2, so that's 10 total there, and then 10 of the level 2 team revives. And if you remember, I kind of estimate these as about 3, but even if we just took them as a straight up, you're just using one champion, and you're just using a team revive just to revive one champ, that would even still be an additional 10, right? So that would be 20 total revives. But then if we do count these as like 2 or 3, I'm going to go with the 3, like I said. This would be 30 plus 5 plus 5. So like 40 total revives from this pack. And then the greater champion boost here, these 30%ers that are absolutely going to save resources, as long as you're not running the recoil masteries, which kind of mess with each other, the boost and the recoils. The energy refills that'll be needed to help get through or just help to continue farming potions, and then the additional potions themselves right here. So this 1,000 units, I would estimate this to be closer to roughly 2,000 to 3,000 units, depending on how much benefit you can get from the level 2 team revives, the boosts, and the potions as well. So this is like upwards of 3,000 units of value for 1,000 units. So the more you're able to take advantage of these offers or any other special offers that come around, it's going to drop that 20,000 unit estimate by quite a bit. We don't know if Kabam is going to drop like a day one, just kind of an encouragement pack to hop in there, where maybe they offer some bonus goodies. Maybe for a few thousand units, they're like, here's a rank up gem or some ascension dust. And some revives and potions, go nuts. We've certainly seen stuff like that in the past, so who knows if they're going to do something like that again. But yeah, you could take advantage of things like this. You could even space it out so that if you're, looking to kind of stretch out the content, you can let the 4-hour crystals accrue. You can every day scoop up, the 4-hour. I'm sorry, not the 4-hour. The fourth milestone here, the third and fourth milestone to get the revive, the potion and units, and like over the course of a month, waiting for like the next monthly event quest to drop to then pick this up again. Each path could conceivably cost like 1,000 units essentially if you just pick this up and wait for your stash to refill naturally. So the whole thing could cost you, 5,000 to 6,000 units if you're willing to be patient. But again, Kabam, they've got some reasons to not be patient. If you want that next progression title, you might have to hop in there pretty quickly. It's kind of up to you. You're not going to suddenly not be able to play the game because you don't have the highest progression title by any means, but of course we all want those rewards a little bit faster, right? So that's a strategy. And then one last final strategy that I have to offer for you guys is during the previous gifting events or banquet events, we've been able to earn the milestones for those events. You basically earn milestones just by spending units. And most people earn those milestones by sending over greater gifting crystals or greater banquet crystals, whatever. But you could also earn those milestones through other means. And in the past, we've been able to, use revives as a way to score points. Buying revives scored points in that event. So that's something to consider. I don't know if that's going to be a thing this year or not. The banquet event is almost guaranteed to be a thing, but I don't know if like the revives will be part of that. But you could certainly wait and see, and it's better than just not getting points for buying the revives. You'd essentially be kind of double dipping on your units that you'd be spending to get through the content anyway. So these are all things to consider, but I would say roughly, if you're just looking to blast through immediately without having the best champs available, we're talking about 20,000 units, and then better champions taking advantages of offers like these, higher skill, and yeah, I don't know, maybe a couple other factors. Those would all reduce the cost, that estimate of 20,000 units. And one last thing before I wrap up this video. Once again, this is all speculation. We're still 2 days out from it. It's certainly possible that Kabam, maybe they're a bit more forgiving with the way they set up the Necropolis, where maybe they, in their like play testing, maybe they wanted to say, oh, on average we want players to use about 60 revives to get through content or something like that, rather than 80 or 100 or something. So who knows, right? But this is the best info I was able to gather up for you guys. Good luck if you're diving in right away. Like I said, I'll be in there a few days post launch, probably the weekend after it comes out. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.